As the constitutional body mandated to create conditions for the recognition, implementation and furtherance of multilingualism, the Pan-South African Language Board is paying homage to the bravery of the students of the 1976 Soweto Uprising who fought for education and social justice. Pan-SA Language Board calls on all South Africans to remain vigilant and never lose sight of the sacrifices made to secure a constitutional and participatory democracy that recognizes, protects and promotes the language rights of all its citizens. PanSALB Board Chairperson Professor Lolie Makhubu-Badenhorst joins us now for more on this conversation. Prof. Makhubu-Badenhorst, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. 1976 was a very clear and valiant demonstration of what it means to fight for the access to education by removing linguistic barriers and language rights truly embedded in that attempt. But that's a fight that wasn't isolated to that. It's a fight that permeated through most of democratic South Africa with, for instance, the battle around, language of instruction in schools being a contemporary conversation in South Africa. 50 years on from 1976, would you say that we have truly reached language parity justice in South Africa?
Well, good evening to you and good evening to the listeners. Thank you for having us as the Pan-South African Language Board. I would say that we are probably 50% plus in that regard, because as you would recall that, as a country, we have already started with a mother tongue-based bilingual education, and we have experimented, piloted with that, and we have successful results in that regard. So I would then say that, yes, as a country, to a certain extent, that I'm saying that, we still have a long way to go. We need buy-in from each and every one of us to participate in this endeavor. But yes, we are moving towards the right direction.
What are the persisting barriers?
Well, I think from us as the Pan-South African Language Board, we see that, there's still the people's minds we still need to decolonize the people's minds. People still feel and think that, they associate using a foreign language, as superior as opposed to when you're using your own mother language. And that will take a while. And when you send our children to school, or whether you send them to the universities, you want them to to focus on the other subjects or on the other disciplines rather than the language. And then we don't then encourage them to study and further and, dig deeper into our languages. And lastly, as the parents at home, we don't really use our languages. And our worry is that, they will die a natural death if we don't do that. So those are the barriers. Changing the mindset from home and us not using our languages regularly, not only on June 16, not only on International Mother Language Day, but throughout the year 24/7.
Yeah. Ngugi wa Thiong'o writes prolifically around the decoloniality of language and the barriers that it presents in itself. And I wonder whether or not that analytical instrument can be applied to the South African condition. English is not the most spoken language in South Africa. In fact, it is indigenous language. At least 4 of the most spoken languages in South Africa are indigenous languages to South Africa. Does the conversation around decolonizing the South African mind then really find place in the discourse, given that our medium of instruction outside of the classroom often is in our indigenous languages, in mother tongue?
Well, I'm glad that you are touching on maybe some piece on your Ngugi. Let me just a quick one. Is that, Alive is famous, but probably not famous to everybody. But, if you know your language and your culture, and you add all the languages of the world, that is empowerment. However, if you disregard your language, but you know and use all the languages of the world, that is enslavement. And we do not want our people then to be enslaved. So coming to the question that you were asking, with regards to us, using our languages, both universities and schools, we as a country and we as PanSALB, we have supported any endeavors by the country and by the other NGOs who then perpetuate or use their languages and make sure that they are developed, and also using the artificial intelligence technology, because that we know that they use technology in advancing our languages. I'm saying that yes, as a country, we are moving towards the right direction, and yes, we are using them, but you still have people that really feel that, we say that we need to replace English. Nobody in his sanity would say that you must disregard English. In linguistics, as an academic myself, we talk about additive bilingualism. You say that add other languages so that then you can then have an open mind, have, more information to use, or have more vocabulary to use in order to, share whatever you want to share. Be it in businesses, whether you want to sell your products, be it in our churches, be it in our for social services and elsewhere. So we're saying that, use our language.
Yeah, no, certainly. And again, just to go back to decolonizing the mind from Ngugi wa Thiong'o, I think you said it, the bullets represented physical subjugation while language represented spiritual subjugation. And I think that perfectly encapsulates the importance of language in how we form our worldviews. Thank you so much for your time this evening. I really do appreciate it. That is the chairperson of PanSALB, Professor Lolie Makhubu-Badenhorst.